The time has come to unbox the long-awaited, much-anticipated Fidget Cube. So this is the Fidget Cube, originally funded on Kickstarter by Antsy Labs. This is the very first product that I backed before I even had the idea to start this channel. If you're watching this video, odds are you've probably heard about the Fidget Cube, but it is one of the most backed items on Kickstarter to date. I believe it had over $20 million in support, which is ridiculous. That just goes to show how much the market was looking for something like this. In full disclosure, I purchased 5 of these. This is the last one to be open, so I've already been playing with it for a couple days because I just couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I was so excited. And got one for my wife. Basically, the whole family has one now. Most of the ones that we received were not stuck on the base like this. The majority of them were all just rolling around in here because they weren't stuck very well. But this one is still intact, which is why I saved it for this occasion. Super nifty looking case, and as you can see, the case is kind of designed to go along with it. You got like the little clicker there. Pretty fancy. Why? Go! Well, that took a while, but finally got it open. That was super tough to open. Man, this one's like just tough all around. The heck? Whoops. This is it. So if you haven't figured out by the name yet, called Fidget Cube, this is a cube specifically designed for people that fidget. Or really just anybody to give you something to play with when you're sitting around doing nothing. I don't know about you, but I fidget a lot. I have a very hard time of sitting still. I don't like doing it. So looking at the top first, we have what's called the flip, which is basically like a light switch. This one makes a lot of noise, but not all of them do make noise, which is one key aspect that they wanted to incorporate in this. So on the front side here, you have the roll, which is, these are basically like gears. You just can spin them. And then you have this roller ball that also pushes in. And you can also just roll it around, which is actually pretty nice. It's like a ball bearing, a metal ball bearing. Coming over to this side, we have basically a joystick, what they call the glide. Slide it around, glide it around, do whatever you want with it. Coming over to this side then, we have the spin, which is just a little spinny thing. Kind of like a merry-go-round, but for your finger. And it's on this spinner that the Antsy Labs logo and the name Fidget Cube appears. Coming over to this side, it's basically just, here, let's see if we can give you a better angle of that. As you can see, there's a little divot there, and basically it's supposed to be like a worry stone. Coming to the 6th and last side, we have what's called the click. You can see that there's 5 buttons here. You may be thinking, well, aren't those all the same? No, actually, they're not. We have a hard tactile feel on this one and this one. On these 2 corners, they're exactly the same. Going to the center one, it's a little less of a tactile feel, but still has that, as well as a little quieter. And then, coming to these 2 outer sides, it is essentially just a spring-loaded button that there's no sound, and you could just go all day. So if you're in a quiet situation, and say you're in a meeting or a library and you gotta be real quiet, this is the button for you. This would not be a good button if you're in a meeting. You'd annoy the crap out of people. So there you have it. That is each of the sides of the Fidget Cube. Along with the Fidget Cube, I actually ordered a few of these, what are called Prism, and they are essentially a carrying case. Not so much a case, but like a silicone wrap for the Fidget Cube that also has a keychain. So as you can see, nice blue to go with the Fidget Cube blue. There we go. Look at that. Look at that nice blue. So as you can see, this Prism, this little silicone case, is actually pretty nice because it comes with the keychain and it adds a little bit more grip to it that isn't there previously. So these things are really fun. Like I said, I ordered 5 of them, so I've been playing with mine for a while, and this this here is the one that I have. It is solid black, and then I have this white case on it. And one thing I noticed is that the black one has a black ball bearing, whereas every other color has a silver ball bearing. And then this one here is the one that my wife got, which is a pink and white, again with the silver ball bearing. And there's a few things that we noticed that are slightly different between each color. For instance, on the pink one, the glide and the spin both have a little bit more texture to them, whereas on the black one and even on this blue one, they're more of a smooth surface. They don't have any texture to them really. So it's a bit more difficult to keep your thumb in place when you're trying to do that as it is with, say, this pink one that's got a little bit more texture to it. So something that I actually did yesterday with my black one, as you can see on the black one here, on the glide portion, there's a little bit more texture to it, and that's because yesterday I took a soldering iron and did what's called stippling to add a little bit more texture to it, essentially just putting a bunch of little dots in with the hot soldering iron, which worked really well. It's added more texture to it, and it's easier to keep my finger on it. So I've already done some customization to this, and I'm glad that I did. And one other thing I noticed is that in here you can see a lot of the seams in all of the sides, which really isn't that big of a deal, but when you have this case on it, you don't see any of them, which is nice. You don't have to see it. I think it just looks better with the case on. A few of my first impressions though is that this is bigger than I thought it was going to be. So if you can see here, each side is a little longer than an inch, which it's a good size, but honestly I was expecting it to be even smaller than 1 inch per side. My first impression was that it was a bit big, seemed a bit big in my hand, and I would have preferred something a little bit smaller, but as I've been using it, I've gotten used to it, and it feels like the perfect size now. I think that's pretty much it. There's not much more to say about this amazing thing called the Fidget Cube. So the Fidget Cube is still in pre-order sales, and the retail price currently is $22. I believe once they finish pre-sale, they're gonna be $25 for the cube itself. And then if you want the prism, it is $4.99, and I believe $3.99 during the pre-sale. I don't know how long the pre-sale is going to be, so if it's something you want, you might want to go do that now before the price jumps up. I mean, it's only a couple bucks, but still, why not save a couple bucks? The ultimate question, would I purchase this again now that I've tried it? Abso-flippin-lutely, because this is great. My daughters love them, my wife loves them, and it's just so much fun to play with. I love it. I actually got one for my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, and father-in-law got them. Everybody loves them. What's there to hate about this thing? It's excellent. So with that, we're going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you normally fidget with? Do you just move your body? Do you play with something in your hands? Do you have something specific that you play with? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new and you want to see more crowdfunded items come to life. On that note, we will see your wonderful faces next week. See ya.